a strong earthquake has hit Myanmar with a magnitude of 7.7. That's according to the U.S. Geological Survey. It was followed by a powerful aftershock. The epicenter was around 17 kilometers from the central city of Mandalay, which has a population of about 1.5 million people. Tremors were felt across neighboring Thailand, including in the capital Bangkok, where this video captures the moment a high-rise building under construction collapsed. Reports say at least 43 people have been trapped. Elsewhere in Bangkok, people fled to the streets. Thailand's prime minister has convened an emergency meeting. The shocks were also felt in China's Yunnan province. And for more, I am joined by Matt Hunt. He's a freelance journalist and photographer in Bangkok. Matt, you were outside when the earthquake hit. What did you witness?
That's right, Christine. It was very, very strange. I was at a convenience store in a more residential area here in Bangkok when all of a sudden I just started to feel quite disoriented. And I initially attributed that to the substantial heat. It is the middle of the summer here, and we just don't have earthquakes very often. However, it was within short measure that everyone inside of the convenience store started to talk that there was an earthquake and started to evacuate. And as soon as I got out of the convenience store, there was large groups of people that were coming out of all types of buildings in the neighborhood. And I spoke to a factory owner on the block who experienced something similar. He said that his staff were all feeling very disoriented. They're not really trained to understand earthquakes as much, but they said that the lights were shaking and that there was cracks forming in the walls. And so people expressed a lot of fear at that time. And also there's been some closures of public transit like the trains. And also people are currently being told to stay outside until the next top of the next hour because of the potential for aftershock. So amongst the groups of people who are out on the streets, there is already a great amount of fear because this is just something that's not normal here in Bangkok.
Yeah, and I mean, we're also, as you're speaking, we're looking at the images of especially that building that was under construction coming down and how things are shaking. Matt, do you know anything about people who have been affected? And I found it interesting, this feeling that you had of being disoriented. Is it because things were shaking around you and you couldn't quite understand that the earth is shaking and that you're not disoriented?
That's exactly it. I felt disoriented as if maybe I was passing out because, like I said, it is so hot. It is the middle of the summer here. And then my indication of there being an earthquake wasn't that things were moving. It was just that people were running out of the store where I was. And to the question about the damage, the video that we've seen on the screen of that construction project collapsing is in the center of the city. So that is a major one, and that is something that people are already very aware of. But there are many reports coming in of rooftop pools, which are a common thing here in Bangkok, overflowing, buildings swaying. Also, people have shared their pictures of their homes, the interiors of which have been destroyed because there's some areas of this country that are lacking in infrastructure, including here in Bangkok. So I think Bangkok is one aspect of it, but because the earthquake covered pretty much from the north to south, the country, we have yet to see what the damage will actually be for the areas where the infrastructure is a little more lacking, like in central Thailand and Myanmar.
And Matt, what have you heard about the situation in Myanmar where the epicenter apparently was?
The thing about the Myanmar aspect of this is that they have also been under siege by the military junta for the last 4 years. So any information that comes out of Myanmar will be a little bit slower than what we can get here. At the time, currently, I don't know specific details of the actual impact. However, I do know that journalists and human rights groups are already expressing concern for information related to what's happening in Myanmar because the infrastructure has been something that is definitely neglected by the junta government for the last 4 years, and the country is already in dire need in the throes of a civil war. So I think that we will learn more in the coming hours, but for now I cannot confirm what it looks like in Myanmar.
All right, Matt, we appreciate you coming on for us. That's Matt Hunt, the journalist there in Bangkok. Stay safe, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you.